Hello and welcome to another video from the Fantasy Legion. Alan Sean back again, discussing the rookies for the 2020 draft.
Time for the Legion to slay it now, Al. Let's get there and kill a few.
Well, you tell me all about Zack Moss. Most visited running back in the class, do you know what? There was a lot of teams interested.
I've got a lot of notes on him. I've had a lot of notes for a long time. I mean, he's another one of these guys. We could, there's a really interesting running back class because there's very few landing spots. So some of these guys have got to land right. And when they do, they're going to, vault up the fantasy tree massively. He's one of those guys who could go from maybe running back 7, 8, right the way up. I don't know where he is on Fantasy Pros.
He's about 12. I think he's about 12 overall, running back 6, maybe, something like that.
Yeah, he could go 101, right? And the reason is this, right? So if you look at his career, he's quite compact. He's 5'9", but he's big.
5'9", but 223 pounds. Yeah, but he went to 4'6'5". That's not great, is it?
Well, it may not appear to be good frontline speed, but if you look at his stat numbers from 2019, I'm going to go into this in a little bit of detail. He had 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. Okay, so that's okay. And then you could argue, okay, was it against lesser opposition because the kind of team it comes from? And to be honest, yes, it was, right? However, when you dissect it a little deeper and you go, okay, well, 2 of the teams he played were top 10. Yeah, 2 of the teams were top 10 in that 2019. So let's see if playing the big opposition affected his stat creation. Did he then drop off? No. 44 carries, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, and had 135 yards receiving.
I'd probably take that for a fantasy week, to be honest.
Right? Yeah, so for me, that's actually that's a guy who rises up when it's critical, played big in a big game. So big games for that college. It's a big game.
He's a bit of a bruiser, isn't he? That's the thing about him.
We talked about, Brandon Ayuk in another video. Go check that out about yards after the catch and how he created them. This guy is a yards after the carry machine, yards after contact machine. Yeah. He did really well at it. He's got power. He's got balance. Great cuts and spin moves. Like, again, this is Madden-like. I like that. When I see that in a running back, I really like that. And absolutely no wasted time between gear changes. So as soon as he stopped, the gear changes are really quick. So that's the brilliant thing. Now, here's my big concern, right? So all of that sounds great, right?
It did. Oh, you had me sold. Now, why would you change it? What's going on?
Well, I have to put the rub on this, right? There is a rub, okay? So I would say I could see him being, right up there when it's all said and done, and he could be. But you have to put, as he comes into the NFL, the one red flag no one's talking about. Can he hold up? You see, he's got a big injury history over him as a player. He's had ankle issues, knee issues, shoulder issues, right? So
you don't need them.
No, you don't. But I would argue that this is something you have to be concerned about. So can he survive a full NFL workload? I'm going to say that's difficult to imagine.
But when your style is bruising, and you enjoy the contact and you getting injuries, that's a bit worried, isn't it? Because if it's your job to hit people, or you enjoy hitting people, or you're that kind of runner, if you're already breaking down at a young age, it's like
the way I look at him is this: he could go to the 101 in fantasy drafts, right? So let's imagine he landed.
I don't think he can.
Well, he could. It's possible because
he's not a Kansas sort of player, is he? So he's not going to go safety.
But say he did land right? So say he went to one of those high-valued running back teams. You'd have to put him right up there with the 101, 102, 103, wouldn't you? Because he's in the perfect fit.
I'll tell you who is a good fit, maybe. And that's, again, Pittsburgh. They like a bruise-in sort of player.
Right.
They're built on that, aren't they? The history of that.
Let's argue, for the Legion's purpose, let's say we argue, because we got to either put a sword in the back of this guy or we got to thumbs up him, because that's what it's about. If he landed right, I can see the value. Here's my problem with him, and I'm going to be totally honest. Here comes the knife in the back for this guy for me, right?
Is it that he's a slow old plodder, like Benny Snell? Pittsburgh drafted last year.
I'm literally, I see a player that could come in, who could be valued in fantasy drafts. I'm swerving. My instincts are telling me to avoid because I see big issues ahead, and that means his value falls through the floor. Now, if we're talking redraft for a year, great. Sign me up if he lands right. I'll have a piece of that. That's worth a shot. But from dynasty leagues and teams where longer term matters, no, I am not going to get involved in it. For a year, I might, but I would always be slightly concerned that he will go down at the critical moment. And I've got, don't be surprised he misses games year one, even if he lands perfect. So, yeah, there's some issues here. And those ankle, knee, and shoulder issues, they're okay. A couple of them are minor, but there's a lot of.
He's not a great pass catcher either, is he? I think that's another thing can be leveled out.
Bit of a rub, bit of a rub against. But he did okay in the big games. He's 135 yards spells that out.
He is a bruiser, and he's obviously, he's got heart. You have to be that sort of player.
Power, balance.
I mean, Marshawn Lynch was never lightning quick, was he? But he was a bruiser. I mean, he was quick.
I just have a feeling this could be a trap. This could be a trap player. I think I like him. As I say out, I really genuinely like him. I think he could go very high in fantasy drafts if he lands right. Could totally see it. But I'm very concerned, and I would be very careful at how I actually, if I take him, what kind of style of fantasy will I take him in and why? I'm certainly not going to invest longer term. So dynasty-wise, I'll be very, very edgy with him.
Especially in 4-point PPR. I think it, lessens it again, doesn't it?
So a good player, definitely, good chance to go high, definitely. Very interesting. But I still think there are better players lower down. So there you go.
There you go. I think we've heard it there. So a rolling Sean gathers no moss, as they say.
It's the old knife in the back, I'm afraid, Zack Moss. I'm looking forward to seeing how you do. I'm sure you'll be good somewhere, but I wonder for how long.
I mean, where would the best landing spot be? Where would you say, actually, that is the ideal landing spot for him?
The ironic thing is I could see him going to Pittsburgh, as you say, and I could see him going to Miami. Those are the kind of teams that take players like this repetitively and never learn the lesson.
Miami, you say that about Miami. They've actually drafted some really good RBs, like Ajayi, Damian Williams. There's loads of them, actually, if you look back, that have actually gone on. But they make it elsewhere. A lot of the time.
They never make it there, do they? It's like the classic song. I make it, I make it anywhere.
Kenyon Drake's another one, isn't he? I mean, they had Kenyon Drake and Damian Williams when Ajayi went down. I mean, that's a pretty nice three to have. They draft all right. They draft all right.
I think why those players do better elsewhere is that Miami are so far behind in games more often than not.
Yeah, they can't run it anymore.
You can't run it, and therefore, by definition, Zack Moss, does that excite you then? So, if he goes there, that looks great on paper, but then suddenly you're in catch-up mode, you're 3 scores behind, you're in the second half of a game.
Miami got multiple first round. It's kind of exciting. I'm not a fan, but if I was a fan, this is the exciting time of year. This is what you wait for. You've endured an up and down season. It wasn't all terrible. I mean, they had their moments. Fitzmagic, even the year before. Yeah, when they had that sort of lateral to beat New England Patriots. I mean, they're probably worth the season alone for them. And Gronk nearly fell over trying to tackle him at Kenyon Drake.
You look at the logic of the situation that Miami are in, and in fact, actually, the New England division. And if you think about New England, I mean, I would honestly say, just because of coaching, you're going to say, they'll probably end up with a winning record. But let's be honest, the other teams are definitely closing fast, and with the right picks, anything can happen.
Yeah, exciting division for sure. I mean, Buffalo are going the right way. Miami have got to go the right way. That's the only way you can go when you're Miami. Yeah,
they can only improve, and I think they will,
Yeah, it's certainly going to be an interesting division.
But as for Moss,
it could be a lot tighter than it has been the last 10, 20 years, really.
Yeah, this Moss may gather a lot of injuries, so be prepared for him.
Okay. We'll on that note, we'll if you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like and give us the old thumbs up and subscribe for more, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.